I think that I was with you guys where I thought there was no way, and I was with Mike that thought there was no way until Sunday. And you can't not compete.
Right.
And look, it's
even with all the injuries.
It's insulting to think that a team full of not NFL players is going to compete in terms of actual score with NFL players.
Especially against a team that's probably going to the playoffs.
Yeah. The Chargers are good.
Yeah.
And it seems like
and they're peaking. Not only are they good, they're peaking at the right time.
The Redskins have played every team when they're peaking this year. Like it's insane. Like the Chiefs, are they good? No, but they were.
People were talking Super Bowl for the Chiefs.
Won 152 games in a row. Like just how their seasons played out. But you have to compete. You have to show like you want to be there. You have to be prepared. You can't have players coming out afterwards and saying, we are not prepared. That's what gets you fired.
Right.
If you go out and it's like, man, these guys can't catch. They're just not that good. Or like, wow, we're averaging 2.1 yards per carry because LaShawn Daniels has 2 career carries.
Right.
Step into my office.
That's
what I'm saying.
So
that's why I think he gets a pass because of all the injuries. If you give them Thompson, Reed, Trent Williams is healthy all year, and then just give me a Laval or just give me another guy, I think they probably have at least one more win, maybe 2.
Right, easily.
Who knows?
So
they might win that Saint game.
Let's say they win
I think
the
if
next
Thompson
2.
doesn't get hurt, they hold on to the Saints game.
Yeah, probably.
Probably do. Say they win the next 2.
Doesn't mean they're in the playoffs, but they're not as bad as
they win the 2 home games. They beat the Cards and the Broncos. But then they go lay an egg in New York, and it comes down to the New York game again. Would they really fire Jay Gruden if he turns in a 7-9 record?
Not if they won those 2 games, no.
I don't think so.
I think the only way they would get rid of him, and I don't even think it's possible, but if it were to happen, I think he would have to lose all 3. That's just my opinion.
I'd be scared if I won one of these. And losing the last one, I think, is extra scary because then it's the one that you sit on, right? Like, and with ownership that is resume-wise as emotional as it is, I don't want that bad taste in
because
his
remember
mouth.
how much we heard last year after Kirk couldn't get him over the hump of the Giants game. It was that lasting impression of when you really needed the game, Skins couldn't win it, and it seemed like that was what Bruce Allen was really holding on to.
Right.
Couldn't get past that mental block of the Giants game.
I think if they lose all 3, like I think Bruce is safe with the stadium thing. That's always kind of been the consensus. But I wonder if there are factions of that front office who are trying to get in Snyder's ear going like, look, man, the 8 or 9 years, whatever it's been that he's been around, he hadn't done diddly squat.
Here's the thing with Bruce Allen,
I thought they were all kind of in the same fraternity.
Is Bruce Allen the only person on the planet that can maneuver politically and help get a stadium deal done?
I wouldn't think so. But he's like the one thing he's really, really good at is being a politician.
Yeah.
And so like for all of the other things that you can argue about and some you don't even bother arguing about because he's not that good at it and he's got a track record, he's really a good politician.
Okay, I agree with that.
Very well connected.
Here's my thing, though. We're in D.C. There are a million politicians here. There are a million great politicians here.
Bruce can
Allen
be a politician,
but
not
all with football experience.
Well, the thing is, though, Bruce can be a politician and get the stadium without being involved in the football operation, and they can hire someone who has a better chance of succeeding than Scott McLuhan.
Right.
Not necessarily that you're going to find a better talent evaluator than Scott McLuhan, but because of everything that went on with Scott and his past, bringing him into a building with that kind of culture and atmosphere probably wasn't the best move.
All right, 800-636-1067. Got about, 5-6 minutes left. Seahawk hanging out with us. Let's go to Pat in Mechanicsville. Has a question about the draft. Pat, what's up?
How y'all doing today?
Good. What's up, Pat?
Hey, if Cousins doesn't come back, what are y'all thinking about possibly drafting the kid out of Oklahoma State at quarterback?
Rudolph, I don't know if this is going to be back myself. I don't know about this, Craig, but I don't like Rudolph.
Depends on the day.
Right.
Does
it really?
It's such a hard read because I don't think either side really knows. Like I think both sides have been like, oh, we're going to deal with this when it gets here. Like especially Kirk. He's one day at a time. Like that stuff's real with him.
Right.
And he knows that he can't do anything right now, so he's just not going to worry about it. I think somewhere in the back of his mind, he probably knows which way he's leaning, but it's also going to depend on what the offers come. If they come out and offer $28 million a year, the one that they're allowed, that equation, like, oh wow, they'd really believe in me. Okay, let's talk. they never made an offer last year that made any sense to say yes to. So it's really hard to kind of decipher where they are. But at the same time, because that's how they operated last year, you don't really have a great sense of if the team wants him back either. And I think it also depends on Jay. Like if they're not going to bring Jay back, then that changes the Kirk equation.
Sure.
So like I think in that way, all of a sudden the last 3 games matter in a way that we didn't think they would 2 weeks ago when that initial Ian Rappaport thing comes out. It's like, that's ridiculous. What do you mean the next 5 weeks matter? You've had him in your building for 5 years and or 6 years, and he's been starting for 3. Well, now all of a sudden how this plays out probably matters because it might change your whole organizational direction beyond quarterback.
Yeah.